Okay, welcome back to yet another episode of my Minecraft Let's Play. This is Blue Nexus Gaming here. Once again, logging into my world as usual. Let's see where we left off. This is a good time to take a moment to like the video, as well as, of course, leaving a comment on what you hope to see me accomplish today. Yeah. Make sure your video quality is set up correctly. Of course, you want the higher quality. Sorry about that. Had to pop my ear. Okay, last time I believe I was setting up always got to be careful of that. I believe I was setting up this for a full conversion over to smooth stone. Thing is, I have to move this thing over. Specifically starting here. This line of glass right here is where the double chests need to start. Because right there at the edge of that double chest is a chunk border, a chunk boundary, if you will. So I need to basically remove that half of the farm, move it over to this half of the farm, and then rebuild everything that's over there. Well, not like everything, but like rebuild that stuff over here. So that's what I have to do. But first, I want to make it out of smooth stone. Not just regular stone, but smooth stone, which is stone that has been smelted twice in a furnace. I created a nice little smooth stone cooker, complete with auto fuel injection for when it runs low, or for when you just have a massive stockpile of kelp that you have lying around. It seems the coal has not been burned through yet. It is starting in on the coal, but we still have plenty of stone to go through. As for how much we've done, quite a lot. Yep. And then just slowly trickles in as it cooks up in the furnace. For quick, we can probably grab one. No. Anyway, if we want to grab it, we can just backlog the whole system. Just fill up the barrel up top with basically a chest full of cobble. It's not a half bad idea, actually. Give it a go. I'm just going to toss it on the ground here and then just stand in the middle of the pile and pick it all up. This also gives me a chance to do this. Oh, right. I forgot I can move it around doing this. There we go. And now I pick up all that. Oh, well, I suppose I should have checked to make sure I could actually reach the barrel. There. Now, it's going to eat through all of this cobblestone, all of this cobblestone, all of that cobblestone, and that's all going to backlog into this furnace with some extra stone to spare, in fact. Assuming all of the kelp lasts, I'm gonna need a lot more kelp. Okay. Let's see. First, I'm going to check over there. Oops. Side. Here we go. Because I don't honestly remember what I did last episode. I slept rather nicely. I'm a bit dazed because I just slept so soundly. Looks like I need the sword. Okay. Well, so I need granite. Get a nice assessment of that situation here. I need granite. I need to give each of these guys a whack with the sword here. I can put the sword away so I don't damage it. Just, slap the slimes around with some kelp. Works like a charm. But yeah, I need granite. There's some granite in the wall there, but I don't really want to dig out that whole wall right now. I could. I really could. Oh my god, more slime. Okay, well, That's what I get for building so close to Bedrock, really. There's just gonna be more slimes than I know what to do with. Oh well. It's a good experience. Slimes are easy enough. Because they stop a lot, so they're very easy to deal with. So let's see. As I traverse the incline up to the base, I suppose I want to count out how tall this kelp farm was, because I need to know how much material I'm going to bring up. I'm giving it a solid assessment. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's a 16 wide farm, so it's a full chunk, with one on the outside, it looks like. We're going to have to tuck this in. That's grand. Looks like that's not going to affect the footprint too much. Is this lined up with a torch on this side? No. No, it's not. Okay. So yeah, then we can... Let's see, if that's over 2, then that would put that one under it. And that one as it. I'll figure out how to build it. I'll start building from the observer block, just to make sure that I don't, like, cover a pumpkin or something. Basically, I need to pull in these observers by 1. I think that's going to really, I think that's going to cause me to cover a pumpkin. So I might pull them in by 2 instead. But that means that I'd have to move it to where I turn. Instead of turning here, I'd have to turn here, I think. Or no. Oh yeah, this will pull it in by 2, because this is going to move to here, and then this one's going to move to here, which means this one moves to here, that one moves to here, that one moves to here. Oh, these are going to get pulled in by 3 just by rotating it 1 block early. That doesn't add up. Oh no, I just miscounted. That one doesn't actually move it. So that one goes to... Wait. So if this one goes to here, then this one goes to here. Boop, 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 boop. And then this one doesn't advance it. However, that one has to drop down. Okay, so yeah, it still moves over 2. Okay. My brain was misfiring, and I had to do the actual numbers on how everything operated. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'll leave that open for now. Speaking of which, how is the kelp? Hasn't harvested yet. Okay. It's getting close though. It's about halfway up. So 16 wide, which means 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'll count over here. 1, 2, 3. I saw that lightning. 4, 5, 6, 7. There's lightning outside. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This looks to be 15 tall with one sunken into the ground. So 16 tall. We'll say 17 because we have the floor. So this is 17 by 18 roughly. Oof. Okay. Well, if it's 17 by 18, that means that this entire contraption is... That was a weird effect. This entire contraption is quite sizable. Let's see. Multiplication is not my forte. Well, I mean, 10 times 10 is easy. That's 100. So I'll need at least 100 blocks, obviously. Since there's... Well, do I want a viewing port? I don't really need a viewing port on it. Theoretically, I could submerge it. I might submerge it. Might just make it out of smooth stone, submerge the whole thing, and just have a little section at the top. Because to be honest, like, the entire collection system is extremely obscene at this size. Like, really obscene. Also, I think I want to actually swap these around so that they're converging here into 2 double chests there, because then I can just put 2 hoppers underneath that and feed it into a double chest at the front. Yeah, I think I might do that actually. I might do that right now. Yeah. That's what today's episode will be. I'm going to remodel the collection system of my my kelp farm. So a lot of this is just going to be me removing storage chests and hoppers. Okay, so now I want to chop that. I want to switch to my pickaxe, mine that. They're, of course, making me use the pickaxe to mine it because it's made out of metal. which really makes sense when you think about it, you know. It's a giant metal block, so what do you use to mine it? A pickaxe. You mine pickaxes, or you mine metal with pickaxes. I mean, it's a very simple equation when you think about it. Okay, so A I need to equip the storage chests. Okay, so if this thing's going to be going that direction, then these need to go like that. Which puts a hopper there and a hopper there. And then looks like the next step is there and there. Put the hopper there. And yeah, I suppose it would zigzag again, wouldn't it? Because everything has to offset every time, otherwise it doesn't add up right. Huh. Well, isn't that cheeky? Huh. I saved 4 chests just by converging it over there. I could hook up this as extra overflow. I mean, technically it would just drain and siphon off a lot of everything else, but yeah, I'll just have that installed as an example of how it's just going to fill out. It's like, yeah, I plan to have that. It's just a matter of, you know, installation. But that'll allow everything to just converge. And then as we get more iron, we'll of course add in all of the hoppers. It'll get a lot faster, of course, and filtering all of the items down. said, it is kind of the perfect height for what I need it for. Because, like I said, I plan to have all of this eventually, like, moved forward, offset forward. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. But I need to get that entire farm moved over by like 7 chunks. So I'm going to have to clear out all of the water sources. I'm going to have to clear out all of the observers. I'm going to have to take it all down, move it over, build it back up. I kind of don't want to right now. So instead I think I'm going to focus on mining out this mountain. So I needed to mine out this mountain anyways, of course. Obviously. Yeah, well, I'll just finish climbing the stairs before I eat then. Okay, so I've got my respawn point set. Now I can start digging out this mountaintop. So yeah, I've been watching back some of my older footage, and as I was watching, it occurred to me that I managed to forget a lot of details when I was talking about my original Dungeons and Dragons character, my first one. The character Dragonus had managed to say something very interesting to Hades when she prayed to Hades and Hades showed up before her at the Black Gate scenario that I had previously mentioned. In that scenario, Hades showed up and said, I believe it was, "What is it that you ask of me?" So Dragonus said, in response to this, "Oh great Hades, I have a business proposition for you," which got Hades' attention, obviously. And Hades showed up and said, "Dear child, what could you possibly have that you might think that I'd be interested in? What could you possibly offer me that I might want? I am Hades, god of the undead." Hades, god of the river Styx. That's what it was. It's been a long time. Sorry. So, he said, "I am Hades, god of the river Styx. What do you possibly have that you might think I want?" I'm fascinated to know. And so I said to him, "I have before me all of these helpless souls, these helpless evil beings that obviously want to do me harm. they will not be missed, of course. They are soldiers. They knew what they signed up for. And if they didn't, well, then they really shouldn't have done that. But either way, the situation is that I have before me thousands of souls that I could deliver to you. But alas, I have no means by which to deliver them. He said, truly a troubling topic. Tell you what, show me what items you have, and then we shall see what can be done to remedy this situation. So, as requested, I allowed him to see what items I had on my person. He looked over my inventory, which translated to I let the GM look at my character sheet. And that was when the GM, Steve, took me aside and said, hey, about that dragon's treasure hoard that you were looting previously. In the process, there was this scroll, and I told him, Steve, you know what I told you about my beginner's luck. I got beginner's luck. If you give me any help, I'm just gonna steamroll your campaign, man. You know this, okay? I don't know a thing about Dungeons and Dragons, but I can tell you this. I learn really fast, and then on top of that, I also get extremely lucky to the point where you're going to swear I'm cheating, because I have no idea what I'm doing, and yet I'm doing amazing. And it's like, yeah, I have that effect. That's my beginner's luck. I'm great at figuring things out, and then I just walk in and just get it done. And it's like, how do you do that? It's like, well, most people don't operate with that part of their brain unless they're at their job. The thing is, I live there. I live in that part of my brain. So I just kind of get it done, you know? And it's like, well, that sounds stupid. It's like, yeah, you're telling me. Because it kind of is, you know. It's really annoying for me because pretty much everything that I do is just, you know, it's more of the daily grind type of situation. I find it very helpful to perform the tasks, obviously, but the amount of effort that I'm putting into everything, it's just exhausting for me because I don't really have a good means for just recharging my mental batteries, so to speak. I can play Minecraft, but let's be fair, you know, Minecraft is Minecraft. You're gonna just be thinking all the time anyways, because that's how Minecraft is. You know, you mindlessly play Minecraft, but you're still building things. You're still making things. You know? You're still crafting. You're still constructing some form of megastructure. You're still terraforming. You're still exploring. You know, it's not just mindlessly playing. Even when you're mindlessly playing. So yeah, it's a lot of work. But it's kind of worth it. That rain is really intense outside. So, Dragonis said, you know, I have all these souls before me and no way to deliver them to you. And so Hades looked at my inventory. Hades said, this scroll, I will apply it to something as an enchantment for you. And then you will use that as your means of deliverance of these souls unto me. You know, basically, I told Hades I needed a weapon, and he was like, okay, I'm going to take this scroll, and I'm going to enchant something for you. And I'm going to basically give you this big, massive magic weapon that you can blast away your enemies with. You know? And it's like, cool, thanks, Hades. Because I was equipped with, here was my full loadout. I had elemental manipulation. I had the special 6, which damaged my my damage output by 6. It multiplied it by 6. I had a chance of not succeeding that. Sometimes I didn't succeed that, but for the most part, I usually succeeded that. Unnaturally so. I was quite skilled to the point where the GM once had me roll it 3 times, and each time on the D6 I rolled a 6. He was like, "How do you do that?" I was like, "Well, I just rolled a 6." You know? You told me I wanted to roll like a high number, so I rolled a high number. What do you mean, how do I do it? Ask and ye shall receive. You know? I was just unnaturally skilled at being able to do that. It was hilarious. I still am. I can still roll a physical dice unnaturally well. Like, it's scary how accurate my dice rolling can get. I don't always try to roll the dice, obviously, because there is something to be said about actual random number generation being mixed in. It does give everyone a fair chance, because if everyone's using the same random number generator, then there's actually an equal chance. You know, they can roll the same number of 20s that I can. So I kind of enjoy using a random number generator. That and usually when I enjoy using the random number generator. The random number generator has a tendency to favor me more, somehow. Although on some days, every now and then, the random number generator has a tendency to just have an off day where it's just like, no, I don't like you. It's like, why? What did I do? Nothing. I'm just having a bad day and I'm taking it out on you. You got the unlucky numbers this day. It's like, oh, great. You know, we had that massive plot point yesterday. Yep. Led up to this big epic battle. Yep. Okay, big epic battle commences the next day and can't roll higher than a 7. Okay, so that big epic battle with all that massive tension, all that build-up, yeah, that battle lasted like 2 rounds because the guy kept hitting himself in the face because he rolled net ones like 3 times in a row, and he like kept on managing to fumble whenever he tried to cast a spell, and he'd lose his concentration. He tried to escape, but then there was that guy who had the counter spell ready, and that was annoying. Yeah, that's just annoying. Okay, so how was that session, everyone? Kind of boring, actually. We had all that plot and then just wrecked his face. It's like, yeah, I wish he'd have put up more of a fight. Yeah, you and me both. I figured he was going to last a lot longer than 2 rounds, but then the paladin came in with that crit. And, paladins, man. Here I am looking at the rogue for the damage, and then there's the paladin showing up with that, 500 damage smite because he decided to save all of his spell slots for when he rolled a crit. Thanks, paladin. You're welcome, GM. I wasn't being very, never mind. It's like, you're welcome, GM. Hey, paladin. Yeah, GM. I hate you. I know you do, GM. That's okay. Not really. It is in my book. Your book is a book on the god of the flying spaghetti monster. I didn't say my book was sane or made sense. I said that it was fine in my book. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Never had to claim that my book made sense, so... Yeah. But, hey. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Because, you know what? Communication will happen. If we understand, we understand. If we don't understand, we ask questions. That's what we do. We ask questions. If we're sitting there going, well, that doesn't sound very safe, we ask a question. We say, hey, is this safe? If the answer is no, then we don't do that because it's not safe. Obviously. I don't know if you guys can hear that rain outside. Like that might be getting picked up by the microphone, but it is really raining, really hard. I'm really vibing to this just chill white noise type sound effect of this rain. Very mellow, very soothing. Like putting on a Barry Manilow CD. You're with your girl, you know? Let's get it on. However, lately that entire thing has, like, that entire song has been completely marred by the fact of I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the gameplay of It Takes Two. I watched the Wanderbots play it, and those guys, Wander and Chell, I think it is. Those two are great. However, they forgot that the entire reason why the parents were mean to Cutie is because they thought they had to be. They thought that it was literally the only way that they could get back to their bodies so that they could get to spend time with their daughter. Like, they were doing it because they wanted to get back to their daughter. They didn't care about getting back with each other. They wanted to get back to their daughter. So they thought they had to make their daughter cry in order to get back to their daughter. But they were wrong. So then they felt bad about it because they were like, oh my god, I thought that was it. I thought that would work. What the heck? You know? We did all of this. We did all of these bad things to our daughter and this didn't work? What the hell? You know? You know, they didn't really have any options that they thought they could explore for how to undo whatever had happened to them. They just found themselves trapped in these bodies, you know? So they were like, okay, well, how do we fix this? What do we do? And they seem to have forgotten by the end of the story that the dad pointed out that, you know, yeah, it's a crazy, stupid, unorthodox method that's entirely backwards, but when's the last time you got turned into a clay doll or a wood doll, you know? And she was like, okay, that's a fair point. That's not normal. Okay? So, perhaps not normal is, you know, what's normal. You don't know until you explore the option. Well, they explored the option and they were wrong. And so they found out, you know, okay, we were wrong. It didn't work. We didn't get our bodies back. So we're still trapped in these forms. We still can't communicate with our daughter. They had found out. They learned that. But, you know, then they found the note saying all you have to do is just stop fighting, you know? Maybe show each other some appreciation and support. Talk about things. Explain your feelings. Tell each other how you feel type of situation. And that is what ended up happening throughout the game. It's just they were a very stubborn couple. So they had a lot of problems they had to resolve, you know? In the end, they ended up actually fixing a lot of the things that they'd never taken care of when they were together previously, and so they like fixed the cuckoo clock, they fixed the vacuum cleaner, they repaired one of the tools, you know, all kinds of just basic household chores that never got done, which allowed their passions to just languish, you know, because he didn't feel supported, she didn't feel like she was able to, you know, choose between home or work. She was forced to do all this overtime work where she just had to work. And her family was kind of just left out of the whole ordeal. Like, she didn't choose to work so much. But, you know, she had to, because otherwise, if she gets fired, you know, they lose the whole place that they're living in, that they're building their lives in. She didn't want that, you know. She didn't want to lose their home. That would be terrible. So she worked her pretty little tushy off. And then she managed to finally reconnect with her husband through, of course, her daughter casting that weird ritual spell on her, and the Book of Love. Yeah. Every time I hear Barry Manilow, I will now think of that Book of Love guy. It's like, oh God. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Like, I understand his heart is in the right place, but yeah, that Book of Love guy was annoying. Like, he didn't really have very many ideas from what I could tell. He was just kind of winging it the whole way. He was pretending to know the answer. It's like, do you know how to get us back in our bodies or not? Of course I do. It's like, great. Can you do it? First we need to fix your broken relationship. It's like, you're just saying that because you're a book of love. I also realize now just how many of these I have pointing the wrong way. So many misplaced ones. Yeah, the response to the god Hades being offered so many souls before him was surprisingly well received by Hades. So Dragonus, you know, shouted out, "Hey, you down there, Wolfie, you know, you gotta get up here. I gotta get like some kind of bone staff or something for Hades. It's like now? Yeah, now. You kidding me? I got Hades here. Hello. Gestures wildly. It's like, yeah, now. It's like, well, do you got the materials? You're in a war zone. Grab some. It's like, okay. Just grab whatever feels useful for the build. Okay, let's see. You're not using this skull, are you? Why, yes I am. Not anymore. It's like, oh, well, okay. Like that one D&D meme, or the D&D TikTok, I think it was, of the wizard asking the rogue, I need a skull. And the rogue was like, okay. And the wizard was like, but I don't want any questions. And the rogue was like, okay, well, only if you also don't ask any questions. Squints. Okay. Three skulls. Okay. He has three skulls. I'll take this one. It's like, yeah. Why does the rogue have three skulls? I don't know. Why does the wizard need a skull? Fair point. This is very nerve-wracking because I'm so close to the cliff. I'm worried one of these pumpkins is just going to pop off and fall off the cliff. You may be wondering why I'm not lowering the pumpkins down like I did previously. It's because I'm going to dig under them. And then once I get up like 3 below or 4 below, yeah, I think I can go like 5 down. At that point, I will go ahead and... is this really facing the wrong way? It is. Once I have basically where the blue marks start showing up for the spawnable danger zones, that would be the point where I start bringing the pumpkins down. I'd submerge them again. Whole 9 yards. You know how it goes. Huh. Fascinating. I managed to get it down to just a single row, and then I somehow managed to notice that I was placing them in backwards, all on my own, separately. Fascinating. Must have been a subconscious thing or something. Maybe I just started performing regular checks on which direction I was looking. Who knows? Either way, as long as I'm looking the correct way now, as long as I'm looking the right way, I'm fine. You know? I believe the same can be said when you're dealing with a Medusa. As long as you're looking the right way, you're fine. It's like, yeah, because if you're looking the wrong way, you're looking at the Medusa, which means petrified. You know, and if you think you managed to, finally get the Medusa to not know where you are, whatever you do, don't peek your head out and check to see if she's gone. Because if you do, well, your friends will see that you have turned to stone. You won't see anything because you'll be stone. You'll have your own problems that you're dealing with, such as being petrified and not having time pass for you anymore because you're petrified. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead with excavating this mountaintop while I continue to tell you about the misadventures of my first Dungeons & Dragons character. Now, after we had survived the Black Gate scenario because Dragonus decided to basically summon what could be described as a rain of death down upon the orcish horde. We delved into their treasures, retrieving what we could, despite the fact that everything organic had rotted away in the rain. We retrieved various bones. We gathered the blood of the various dragons that were involved in the battle. We gathered the scales of the various dragons that were involved in the battle. We could not gather all of the different dragons' bloods. However, we did gather most of them. We gathered the scales, as I mentioned. We rode back to town victorious. The town that we ended up in was a bit of a black market type village, basically built into a mountain. It was a smuggler's den hideout type place. Dragonus, of course, knew nothing of the world, and so the fact that I'm able to remember this is roughly that actually tells you this is probably roughly what Dragonus actually knew about the place as well, is just the small amount I'm able to recall. It's like, oh, okay, it appears to be some kind of smuggler's den type place. Cool. I heard about these in stories. It's like, oh, did you know? Anything interesting? Not really. It's like, uh-huh. I mean, she hadn't gotten out much. What'd you expect, right? So, Dragonis was probably blissfully unaware of the majority of the crimes happening around her. Pretty sure the only reason that she herself didn't get robbed is because she was traveling with a well-known rogue. That and the fact that the party was very flush with cash. We were basically there to sell off our loot, so the majority of the merchants have, of course, security, meaning that they're not just going to go down easy. They're not going to take a hit and just go down. No, they're going to sit there and they're going to be like, "Oh, really? You're trying to rob me? Well, let me inform you of why that was a bad idea, buddy." It's like, oh boy, here we go again. You know? And so, the merchants will defend themselves if attacked. Good majority of them used to be adventurers. A good majority of them are adventurers. Not all of them legitimate adventurers. As in, they may or may not sell stolen goods. But I digress. The point is, the place was very, very private. It was a good place if you were selling something that you didn't want a lot of questions asked, because perhaps you might have done something bad to acquire whatever that item was, and so you're just sitting there going, well, yeah, I'll let you have it, but no questions asked, you know? Don't ask me where I got the the crown jewels. It's like, aren't these supposed to be in England? I'm sorry, business transaction's over. Why? Because you asked a question. No questions asked. Okay. What if I wanted to ask how your day was? Well, that's not related to business. You know, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Speaking of mixed bags, have I mentioned that the majority of my viewers are not subscribed, as well